Hey, welcome to For the People podcast. I'm your host, Vision X, and we are joined by, as you know, our other two co-hosts right here and our guests. We're going to introduce Miss Maya, the history lesson herself in the teaching of the children. Miss Maya, go ahead.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Maya Lamise. Make sure y'all put y'all seatbelts on because we going for a ride today, okay?
And Miss Knick Knack Paddywhack Give a Dog a Bone, Queen of Judges, Miss Nikki.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. Yeah, like Maya said, with us, you gotta put that seatbelt on. You gotta brace for impact because anything can happen.
Anything. And our rotating guest, this is DJ Claxton. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Claxton. Super excited to be here. I've never done anything like this before, but I have a lot to say, so excited to join the conversation.
Awesome. And we might be having another guest popping in soon, but we'll just let them join in when we see them link up. So what we're going to do is start with our first video, and here it goes.
Well, I have a problem with exclusion, to be honest. I have a problem with exclusion and just fundamentally saying somebody is different because of their religion or the color of their skin. I mean, that's my personal opinion. How is this community funded? My understanding is you have something like a GoFundMe. Can you explain that?
The actual purchase of the property was funded by the community members themselves. And up to this point, almost everything that we've done has been our own initiative, our own resources. We've put up some fundraising campaigns, like a legal fundraiser that has been very successful. And that's necessary because many people would try to attack what we're doing as illegal. I've also raised funds to fund a tour to expand our projects, not just to full-time residential communities, but also recreational areas and community centers. I think it's good for the white community to have our own spaces, just like I think the Black community should have its own spaces, and the Jewish community clearly has its own spaces.
But the way you put that is that there is a Black community, a Jewish community, and so on and so on and so on. And a lot of people say that's not America anymore. That may have been America 70 years ago, but it's not today. America is a melting pot. You go to a place where I live, like Los Angeles, and there are pockets, but there's really no such thing as entire communities anymore. So that's not America anymore.
There are certainly Jewish community centers. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I have a problem with exclusion, to be honest. I have a problem with exclusion and just fundamentally saying somebody is different because of their religion or the color of their skin. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Well, I have a
So what do y'all think? Because I know this is becoming a big story right now.
So so I am okay. At first, when I seen the white community, I was like, that's some bullshit. But as he went on, and I was like, you know what? We do need our own shit. But the problem is when we get our own shit, y'all like to burn it down and do all the other ignorant shit. So why is it okay for y'all to have y'all own stuff and we not supposed to bother y'all? But when we get our own stuff, y'all always, oh, Black people don't include us. Y'all are the racist ones. Y'all got so much to say when we do it, but it's okay when y'all do it. I'm sick of that.
Why? The reason why all these other things exist is because of white people excluded Black people and other ethnicities from them. They are the creators of exclusion, but hate exclusivity when it applies to them. White culture is white supremacy. That's all it is. Which again is when you say white pride is bad versus when you say Black pride. Their entire existence is based on the ideology that they are the superior race, which is why anything that has to do with equality is literally a threat to their existence. They do not know how to function outside of the ideology where superiority does not exist. Because if everybody becomes equal, their white mediocrity is automatically put on full display. They can't hide behind it. The superiority masks the mediocrity. That's how that works. So what they fail to realize is that Black people never really stop segregating. Because if you think about it, the minute we go somewhere, what's the first group of people we looking for? People that look like us. We ain't looking for nobody else. We looking for people that look like us so we know we in a safe space. We never stop segregating. So when they start this bullshit about their own community, okay, have your own community. But what are you going to have? Because what white people don't realize is that without black people and what black people bring to this country, their utopia is a dystopia. So let them learn that lesson the hard way.
You know what gets me about this is that, oh, and we just had Mr. Amore join us. Go ahead,
Okay.
introduce yourself.
Well,
Hi,
hello. Hi, how are you all?
good, and you?
You know,
Good. Just
Good. How
breaking
you
up in
doing?
here. Y'all catching me up talking about the white people wanting to run away to their own land, and that's fine. Let them do that so we can be in peace. Amen.
you know what gets me about that? So you remember I always talk about my past of staying in foster care, right? I stayed out there in the middle of nowhere where it's just Jim Bob and them and Snaggletooth Mary and Bubba and Hoss. And let me tell you, it was nothing but incest, meth, cousin wives, sexual assaulters, and a bunch of Confederate people that was always talking about race, black, 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 black. I'm like, when I left Kansas, I was so over it because it's like that's all they did all day nonstop. They had no black people that was really around them besides the foster kids, and it was always that some black people did this or some black people did that. And for me, it's just like all they're going to do is once their community runs out of resources, they're going to go to a black community or the Jewish community and they're going to tear it up, just like they do everything else. And that's exactly what's going to happen because you know the ideas that come out of like a lot of those white settlements, they usually need Native Americans, they need black, they need Latin, they need people to make things look better for them.
Yeah. This ain't gonna be nothing but another fucking Waco.
I wanted to chime in on what I think what Nikki was kind of talking about earlier about how, because I think it's also interesting that they trying to compare blackness and the Jewish community, and it's a false equivalency because
Yes.
when black people, like for example, when black people like the diaspora, for example, it's very inclusive. Like blackness is not like whiteness. Whiteness is a purity concept. So if you have one drop of non-whiteness in a sea of whiteness, it's no longer white. Versus with blackness, when you mix it with any other type of race, everybody is a part of it. There's so many different countries and stops, you know, on the Middle Passage that made Latin America, Central America, North America, all of those countries and cultures a part of the diaspora and a part of the Black community because they were touched during the slave trade. Same thing with Judaism. Jewish people are not all one race. So it sounds silly to say that, you know, the Jewish community have their own thing when really Judaism touches every type of person and every type of creed, every type of walk of life. So I just think that it's silly of them to try to act like whiteness is doing something is doing the same thing that these other communities are doing when they're actually not. They're doing the opposite, and they're creating a sense of to me they're creating a sense of like deception when they try to compare and try to make it seem like what they're doing is no different.
I think with, and to say this necessarily if it's related, but with Judaism, a lot of white Jewish people, because people don't realize or they know, but they try to associate it. I think white Jewish people, they'll be racist and they use the Judaism whenever it suits them, meaning like the separation of color, race, and religion. So it's like they'll sometimes be racist, and when you call them out on it, then all of a sudden it's not, oh, I'm not white, I'm Jewish. You're
Yeah,
going towards you play the religion card to when you're called out on the racist card, you pull a religion card. So
right.
they have like a double advantage there where they can go on with side because like Claxton said, black Jews exist. It's a religion because you can convert to it. We can't be transracial. You can switch religions, but you can't switch your color and your race. And I think they use it to their advantage when it suits them, which is like we talked about last week. It's like the oppression Olympics. When we talk about slavery, they got to throw the Holocaust out like it's the Uno reverse. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's not the same thing. You had it was
Not
still
at all
bad
the same thing.
overall, but we still have an entire system against us. You don't. You have white skin. So, regardless of your religion, you can hide your religion, but you can't hide that skin color. We can't hide our skin color. The system is still designed to be against us. It was designed to be against us first, and everybody that wasn't white after us. But we're the original people that the system was built to be against, not Jewish people, black people.
That's
And what
right.
I'm going to do is when we're going to piggyback off this into another segment, but I'm going to read some of the comments as we always do. So Stephen Gomillion says, "Why even give these clowns a platform?" Incognito hippie. Keep in mind, Arkansas is one of our least educated states. Sadly, not shocking for the uneducated. Francira Rig, none of our tax dollars should go to them. Let them fund themselves. Don't use our resources at your leisure either. D2 Nice,
Oh
major.
wait, this ain't Arkansas.
Uh, Arkansas, and so then we're going to go into this video. This is this white girl. She was sitting there talking about some of the things that she's noticed in her family, based off like racial stereotypes.
Most racist people that I've ever been around are the kindest to animals. They will sit there and dote on their dogs and just like really make sure they have the most pampered, amazing life possible, while at the same time defending police violence, using racist dog whistles, or even criticizing movements that promote social equality. You would think that compassion for humans and animals go hand in hand, but for many people it does not. Because ultimately they see their pets as an extension of themselves, whereas with other people who are members of minority groups, they see them as this distinct and separate entity. That's why you'll also see white people have a lot more sympathy for the white South African immigrants that came here. Their empathy only goes as far as themselves or their families. So that includes their dogs, that includes people with the same skin color as them. But the second they are asked to empathize beyond that, that's when it stops, because their hatred has consumed them, which has led to a historic pattern of white people treating their animals better than human beings. And when they owned human beings and animals, the animals were treated much better. Some of the most racist people.
So what do y'all think of that?
I mean, I've personally never understood the whole, like, yeah, like Michael Vick said it all. Not saying that what Michael Vick did was correct, but I love how, they'll have zero regard for black people, but oh my god, a dog, like they'll just like, nah, it's just like, but then again, that's low
Have
key
you
they
seen
sexual
Dr.
partners.
Have you
So
seen Dr. Joy DeGruy? I think it's Dr. Joy DeGruy. She does a lot of presentations regarding like slavery and things of that nature. And she
mhm.
was talking about that. She says, "Now look at this man hanging from this tree." And she was like, "Yeah, you probably seen her."
I
And she,
did see it.
yeah, and the white people in the audience was like, and she says, "Now imagine if this was a puppy. All of them would have been jailed right now if they had did this to a puppy. But look at
Yep,
them bringing their children to this, what they call a nigger barbecue. They're bringing their children to this nigger barbecue, hanging them, and the children are grimacing."
yep.
Mhm.
It was interesting. So I want, when I look at stuff like this, I'm not, well, and the other thing is the Harvard study. I think they said 4 to 7% both Neanderthal and canine DNA. So canine
They
is,
don't see us. It goes back to the fact that they don't see us as humans.
Mhm.
That's what it all goes boils down to. They to this day do not see black people as human beings. At one point, not even black women, but black men were considered three-fifths of the man. Black women weren't even counted. So you still to this day in the white psyche, and I don't care how much of an ally you think you are, racism is ingrained in the white DNA. You have to actively work as a white person. You have to actively work to not be racist because it is ingrained in you automatically. And they do not see us as people, they see us as labor, whether it be mental, emotional, physical, or sexual. They see us as labor. They don't see us as people, which is why when we said we're sitting this shit out, they immediately got offended because how dare you not put your black bodies on the line for us in this country as you always have. That is why they got upset. They don't want us to fight with them. They want us to fight for them because we are labor to them. We are not people. They see us as walking Negro spirituals. That's all the fuck we are to them. We're the magical Negro and they're the white savior. That's the symbiotic relationship that they expect us to have.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. They don't. they don't care about us. Like how is it that you can see a person being unalive by the being, I can say it on here, this is not TikTok, being killed by the police, being a little boy being spat on for being black, a little boy being called the nigger for being a kid and just touching shit, and y'all okay with that. But the moment you see somebody kick a puppy, you all up in arms and we need to have them arrested to kill them. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
We are people. I seen the video of Jerry Springer, where Jerry Springer had some old, it was like an old video in the early 90s where he had some racist white kids on there, and they were taught by their parents to be racist. And a black boy kind of got up and he was like, you know what? Because when we turn the lights off, we all black. And so why do y'all feel like we not humans? Because when we turn the lights off, you black too, because I can't see your little white skin.
That is true.
Speak on it.
Oh, what you got to say, Claxton?
No, I was just agreeing. I was just.
I think is that.
I think that people are not able to have empathy because they weren't shown empathy. A lot of the hatred and the racism that we all experience is because of our own families. Everything is taught. I don't believe that the racism and hatred are innately in us. I believe that love is taught just like hate is taught. And so you just have to, it starts in the home. It starts from where you learn your first lessons in life, which is usually from your parents or whoever raised you, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins. All of that stuff it starts in the home.
All right, Mr. Claxton over here trying to be Oprah. All positive and stuff.
I agree with Claxton, because the same video a few years later, Jerry Springer did a update on it, and the same little white girl that was talking crazy was like, I was taught that by my family because only people who came around us were skinheads. So all I knew was skinheads. I only knew how to be this way. But when I got older and went to college and I actually explored the world, black people are human. Like, there's nothing wrong with. I was like, wow. So he just hit the nail on the head with that. It's definitely a taught thing.
Yeah, you remember I told y'all when I was staying in the country and they would turn on Fox News. Like, I will never forget, we were at a celebration. I think it was somebody's birthday party. We were at a celebration, and everybody was nice, everybody was cool, they were friendly, etc. The next thing I know, somebody turned on Fox News, and it's like all the white people in the house just switched. Yeah, they're coming to kill us. They're taking our jobs. They're doing this. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, there's nobody out here doing anything to y'all. Like, I said, we just went from everybody hugging and eating to just, you turn on Fox News and everybody just snapped. And it took the grandmother, she said, please turn that off. Because she seen what was going on in the house, and she was like, the energy here was just like really, really bad. We had a good time, and then y'all turned on Fox News and y'all started believing anything that was on Fox News.
But that also shows like what they truly feel.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to show you that that's a mask, because a lot of white people think that because they don't say nigger every day, or because they don't say it at all, or because they don't allow it, they think because they don't say that they can't be racist. And it's a nuance to racism. It doesn't mean just because you don't say nigger with the hard ER or with the A that you're an ally. That's how they really felt. And if putting on Fox, simply turning on Fox News was all they needed to show their true selves, that tells you everything you need to know, that the allyship or the camaraderie is fake. Because that's how they truly felt. Because if all it did was turn it on the TV for them to make that come out,
Mm-hmm.
that's how they already felt. And so everything else was the performance. Because if it's one thing, white people, you got to understand, white people are rooted in perception, not reality. They don't care about what it is, they care about what it looks like. So that's why when you tell a white person, say the word racism or start talking about race, especially to a white woman, and watch that bitch glitch in real time. Because every alarm in her body is going off, because what she's saying is, oh my God, you're calling me a racist. That's bad for the brand. That's because white people see themselves as a brand. Even if they're not rich, they automatically see themselves as a brand. And anything that is a threat to that brand, they want no parts of it. So they will be racist, but they don't want to be called racist because that's bad for business. That's bad for the brand. That's bad for the perception. They are rooted in perception, not reality. So they will make it look like they like niggas and we all won and kumbaya and shit. But when they got in their voting booth, you saw what time it was.
Yeah.
That's how they always felt. So they want to make it seem like with us, oh, just like with that blue bracelet shit. Fuck a blue bracelet, bitch. You should have voted correctly in the goddamn booth. I don't give a fuck about no bracelet. You could still kill. You could be wearing a blue bracelet and whistling for the Klan at the same goddamn time. Get the fuck out my face with that shit. So it's like, yeah, all that's to me, that's what it is. It's like y'all putting on a fucking show. Because turning on Fox News really brought out how they felt because it was another white person telling them that that's how they should feel. And so that's how they really felt. So yeah, that's to me, that's what they really are. They just need certain things to bring it out of them.
To trigger
But
them.
that's how they feel.
Yeah, and I'm gonna read some of the comments here. This is from Addicted to Iron 66. A firefighter in a small town once posted online that if a black family's house was on fire, he'll save their pets but let the family fry. He was rightfully fired, but it makes you wonder how many embrace this kind of thinking. Uh,
Majority of them.
yeah, Peace Will says, I love animals more than people. Meredith Duncan, they love to be able to control living things. That's what I wanted to get at. It's this control. Like
Mm-hmm.
they can boss around a dog, they can boss around a cat. They also have more power to do over, anything over these animals as well. They also feed them. And that's the word I was looking for because they can't control black people no more. Now black people are bad. Now black people are dangerous. Now they're monkeys and all these other things. And then Nick's Malcolm, oh my God, I've always thought this. They're like, I love my dogs so much more than people. And I'm like the animals that is literally dependent on you for survival. So we're going to go to this next story. I know y'all been seeing this. This is an update that happened to this police incident that happened. To me, one thing that bothers me more than anything is a coon ass black person.
A coon fucking cooning. This
Oh,
shit pissed me off
and
so
he
bad.
showed his ass, and we're just going to let you guys see the video. And I know you said that this was not a little criminal. Sucker punching the guy in the jaw.
First of all, let me stop you. Not a sucker punch.
That's the vehicle now. That's the vehicle.
I'm not excusing that administratively. I'm going to say that to you one more time. I'm not excusing that administratively. There are things that we definitely need to look at. But the context of this video should tell you everything you need to know.
Well, again, like a sucker punch because he's looking straight. He is.
Right.
Okay, and then you see them pull him out. You
Yeah.
see a couple of punches to the face. Now, again, I understand breaking the window, but he charged him with resisting arrest without violence. So I saw a lot of violence. I think the public saw a lot of
Well,
violence.
first of all, Eric, don't try to talk the public into what they saw. They just saw the same video as you saw. So what we're doing, what I'm saying is that
Okay.
it is what it is. This is the information that I want to share with the public in context without a short clip. It's very important to do that because it provides a lot of information to the public.
And you brought up
It's important. Let me finish. It's important for the people to know that you're not allowed to resist a police officer when he's doing his lawful duties. It's been dealt with in several different times. You don't resist when you're doing your lawful duties. You don't deserve to get violated, but you deserve to get what's necessary to get you under control and get you and take you into custody.
The allegation that Neil had reached down for the night. That was a police report.
Where did you see? What police report did you see that in?
In the arrest report for McNeil, that was stated that the officer had, reached for at night, so it was on the scoreboard. The video that was put on social media, and even there, do you see that when you're watching?
No, actually, I don't see where his hands are.
What do y'all think of that?
I'm gonna go last. Just let me say that.
I'll say this. So what's funny is that and Imorje knows this, but I watch. It's one of my twisted guilty pleasures, but I do watch a lot of body cam videos on YouTube, and a lot of what I see on there is the same thing. It's people, being, I guess, what the police call non-compliant. But there's definitely a different energy when the person is black versus when they're white. There's a completely different approach. There's a completely different set of protocols. And depending on the state, it actually really don't depend on the state, but a lot of times in the, you know, more red states, it's a different energy. And the man was clearly, I mean, he was being, you know, resistant to a degree because he rolled his window up, but he was not violent, and they were violent with him. And I feel like a lot of times as Black people, we don't have that luxury to resist the police. We just don't, because we'll die, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So what I feel like is that that man was gaslighting 101. He was trying to refute the evidence in front of our eyes. We saw what happened. We saw him punch the man. We saw them slam him out of the car up against the car. We saw 4 cops on him. He was only one person. He wasn't armed. It was just ridiculous. It was overly excessive. It was overly an abuse of power. And it's only because he was a Black man being resistant. So I don't see how that's refutable. I only see a cop who is Black defending his own. And a lot of Black cops, unfortunately, do that. They have that choice of defending the badge over their own skin color because they've been indoctrinated and they've been trained and programmed to do that, to protect the police.
And you know what I want to do?
You want to know
Go
something?
ahead, Maya. Go ahead, Morgie.
Situations like this and stories like this have the ability to highly irritate me. And someone like myself, I try to stay out of, and I try not to really even give my attention to situations like that because I am the guy in the video. And I know exactly what it's like to be that Black man in the video. Maybe about a good 2 months ago, because of what I drive, my vehicle draws a lot of attention. And I remember the other day I was heading out to a social event and the cops were behind me. And I already know what it gives. I already know what it is. So as a Black man, you have to do the things in regards to lessening the blow. So whenever a cop does come up, I automatically have to have my windows down. It is what it is, you know? And so the cop was behind me. Mind you, my windows are down. There's no reason to stop me. There's no reason to pull me over. So when the cops were behind me, the light was red, and I inched my car up, not drove off, not going anywhere. But you know how sometimes when you take your foot off the gas, your engine turns back on for those people cars who shut down when you have your foot on the gas pedal. So when I took my foot off the gas pedal and the light turned green and I went around the corner, the cop followed me around and he turned his whole siren on and they did the whole 9. And so as I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, so what was the reason? So the guy gets out of the car, and of course, all the cops come out and they swarm my vehicle. They have their flashlights. They're looking through my things. All of my windows are down. They do the whole, have all your windows down, turn the car off, put the keys there because of what I drive, right? And so I asked the guy, okay, so what's up? What's the reason? Well, it looked like you were about to run the light. It looked like I was about to run the light. And so he was like, because you inched your car up. Not saying that you ran the light, but let's just say if there was a person there, you could have probably hit, could have, probably, but not. So it's just like, situations like this highly irritate me because this is not the first time that I've been through this. This is not the second time, and it won't be the last. And it's like there's nothing that in my power, there's nothing that I can do but control myself and my emotions because I know at the end of the day, it's all a game. Because when there are white people who have the same vehicle as mine, who have tints on their window just like mine, they don't get pulled over. But because you see me in a foreign car, it's always... And even to back up what I'm saying, I hate going to Hollywood. I hate Hollywood. I hate Hollywood with a passion. And Claxton knows this. Every time I'm in Hollywood, I literally get pulled over. Every time. And the cop told me, we're going to continue to pull you over. Why? Because your car is a foreign. 2, the color of your vehicle. And 3, because you're Black. She told me this. And my friend... I won't say her name, but my friend was in the car to also back that up as well. So we are targeted. We are looked out for when it comes to just the kind of things that we have. And it doesn't make any sense. And it's disgusting to me. But I've learned through these situations that at the end of the day, and unfortunately, he was controlling his emotions in the video and he was doing the best that he was doing. And it's a great thing that he did have that video going for documentation and proof. But all I can do is control my emotions, because I know me and my attitude is quite vicious. All I can do is be silent to let them do their little diddle and their spiel and get out of my face.
I don't see how these people really pulled you over because it looked like you was about to do some shit. It looked
like, yeah.
that is some bullshit. I can't stand going in these comments and seeing people like, oh, well, he should have just complied. It don't fucking matter what you do. If you are black in America, they're gonna do what the fuck they want to do to you. Complying means nothing. There's been plenty of people who complied and still died. It's like nothing we can do to really keep our, well, I mean, of course, it's stuff we can do to keep ourselves safe because I keep that Moscatool on me. However, it's nothing we can do to convince these people we are not dangerous. In the eyes of them, they don't care. I can just be coming home from church with my little church hat on. I'm still a danger to society because of the color of my skin in their eyes. Like the whole and then to get a coon, a black person to come up there as if he can control all the black people and calm us the fuck down. So you should have complied. No, he shouldn't have done. He did everything right. Officer, why did you pull me over? Weather, there's no fucking weather. Why did you pull me over? I wouldn't have got out the car either. Because why did you give me a valid reason before I hand over my information? You don't have a fucking valid reason. And for that coon to get on TV talking about some, oh, well, everything was right. No, the fuck it wasn't. And for him to say that, I know deep down in his spirit, he know that shit wasn't right. He just said it because they told him to. And if he is the type of person who believes some shit like that was right, he don't need to be with a badge either.
The fact that he got up there to even say those words told me everything I need to know. Because I don't give a fuck about your job, how much money you making for you to get up there and say that shit. The police cracked the window. You see the police officer reach over and undo that man's seatbelt. He's in his seatbelt, so he can't be a danger to you because he's literally strapped into the seat. He can't get out to hurt you because the seatbelt is on. You went and took the seatbelt off and pulled him out the car. He wasn't a danger to you. You were a danger to him. And my thing is, it's a lot of pussies that's police officers. Because if you so easily in fear for your life, you in the wrong fucking line of business.
That part.
Because a firefighter literally gets paid to run into burning buildings. That's literally a job where you got to be in fear for your life because you could die at any moment. If you are so afraid of black people simply because of the color of their skin, you in the wrong line of fucking work. You are in the wrong
piggyback
line
off
of
of
work.
what you said, Nikki just said, I did the research the other day, and 47% of cops are involved in domestic violence within their families and their homes. So these are a lot of men who we all know who those guys was in high school that couldn't get no play.
I was just getting
who
ready to
didn't
say
get
it.
no cutty, who couldn't get any of it. So all of a sudden they get a badge behind them and they
take it
feel
out on the
powerful
world.
and they feel invincible because at the end of the day, you are a nobody and a nothing and a punk in high school. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like there needs to be, we can say this all the time, but it really doesn't matter. It is what it is. But there really needs to be a psyche evaluation and a home evaluation on these people before they get these badges and before they get this job.
I agree, but at the end of the day, the police force, and I don't care what color you are joining that shit, the police are modern day slave catchers. That's all it is. So when they go and they put that badge on,
well, the
they know
police
what
were
they're
slave catchers. That badge.
That's
they
what
were.
I'm saying.
It was slave patrol.
It's just modern day. It's just the name is different, but the game is the same. So when they put their badge on, they know they're not. You do have people that and they're good cops, and yes, but as a collective you're not good, and it doesn't matter. You may go into that situation saying I'm going to change how the police are seen and all this stuff, but the minute you get in there, it's a fucking gang. It's a gang. It's just they wear blue, and they're a fucking gang, and you have to, in order to survive that gang, you have to eat, sleep, and breathe that navy blue. That's all it is. And you cannot go against that. So even if you're black or just a person of color and you join the police force, you may have the best of intentions. But from an individual perspective, you're not going to change the fact that they are modern day slave catchers. And that is what their intent is. That's all it is. That's all they're doing. So they join that I have a badge. I can kill people and get away with it. I could beat my wife, and I have a whole society of people that is going to protect me and allow me to do whatever I want to do. That is why the majority of white men join the police force in the first place. They want to have the right to do whatever the fuck they like. That's it.
And as we're talking, I'm showing you guys some videos. Like these are all incidents where the first one was where somebody was using an excavator to try to hit the cop. No shots fired. I'm like, that's a deadly weapon, an excavator.
Uh-huh.
Then the one
Yep.
with the AR-15, they didn't. I mean, the white guy got out the car, pointed at the cop, and the cop just backed up. I said to me, to be honest about it, I didn't really understand the defund the police thing like all in its entirety, but now I do because it's like most of our cases that solved is from the FBI, CIA, and DEA. It's not from the cops. All they're doing is attacking innocent Black people all the time. And then we keep seeing these stories of, oh, they should have complied or I fear for my life. And just like you said earlier, if your ass is so scary, what the hell are you a cop for? Because I damn sure don't want nobody scary trying to defend me. And so what I'm going to do, this was posted by DL Hughley. We're going to read some of the comments. Mercedes CEO, the man said, first of all, don't try to talk to the public into what they saw. They saw the same video you saw. Exactly. And I saw the same thing he saw. That was definitely a sucker punch. RDH TCA designer says, don't worry, a lawyer and a judge will see what the chief claims he can't see. Attorney Attorney Griggs, yes, the public definitely saw the video and it looked like a clear case of civil rights violations. Oh, so they had to put that on there. Lovely Ailaisia, no, first of all, police chief, you need to review the video before speaking more because you sound like a fool when you're saying things didn't happen while we're looking at the video, clearly to see that it did. All right, so we are going to move on to this next one.